Hello and welcome to the Penno channel. Apologies for the lateness. See a few people in the chat already. Thanks for joining us tonight for the match reaction to Aston Villa 3, Burnley 2. If you're new around here, drop a subscribe. If you're returning, thanks for joining us. And if you could just drop us a like, that would be much appreciated. Bro, thanks for joining me tonight. There's a few Villa fans in here as well in the comments, and I'll read those out in a bit. What a wonderful 2023 Aston Villa Football Club have had. On this New Year's Eve, we're about to bow out of 2023 and go into 2024. And yeah, what a great year it's been. And how you doing?
Yeah, I'm good, bro. Relieved after yesterday. Happy to see some teams around us drop points today. And yeah, I'm good, man. Looking forward to 2024, man.
You don't sound it. You don't sound it. A few comments near. Gary, thanks for joining us. He goes, "Hi everyone, unbelievable that we're second, but every game from now on will be like drawing blood. No easy games, especially now teams know the low block will really make things hard for us." Yeah, agree with those comments. Gary, Michael says, "Thanks for joining us, Michael. I've been saying since the start of the season that we must focus on the game in hand and enjoy the ride. We are in the title race, and this time our support is critical, as Emery shown yesterday." He also says, "Consistency is what we have always wanted at Villa Park, and if we stay consistent, we are in the mix." That's massive, and that's been the huge part of this year. When you look at the stats, I've seen a few amazing stats that have come up on Twitter this evening. For us this season, we've had 85 points over the calendar year. 85 points. In the league, it's only second to Manchester City, who've had 93. It's above every other team in the league. It's equal to the amount of points that Real Madrid had picked up in La Liga over the year. So that just shows how incredible a job Unai Emery's done and how unreal Aston Villa have been this year. It's ridiculous. It's a joke. It's the best calendar year I've ever seen for sure. I'm sure my bro would agree with that. Yeah, thoughts on those stats, bro, and just how unreal it's been before we get into the game.
Yeah, all the stats that are coming out are crazy, to be honest. For me, still the home record, that's one of my favourite stats. To be above Arsenal and Liverpool, those kind of teams that we're competing with over a whole calendar year is mad as well. Like a lot of people try and say like, "Oh, we're just pretenders," or "This is just this season." But when you like stand back and view it from like a bird's eye view, we deserve to be there, if not more than the other two teams. So yeah, happy, and just long may it continue into the next year, man.
Yeah.
I don't want 2023 to just be a year where, oh wow, do you remember how good we was that calendar year? Now let's keep going and let's see what the next year says as well.
Facts. Paul says, "Thanks for joining us, Paul. Hi, Pen and Adam. I'm happy now we have Torres back and Kamara back. Yeah, huge going into the Everton game and for Middlesbrough as well." Paul also says, "Villa, we have a great 2024. Let's hope so." Rachel, thanks for joining us. She says, "Evening all." Paul says, "And January we'll buy striker and more will follow." Yeah, we'll get onto that. Mark says, "Hi, Rachel." Paul says, "Arsenal now behind us now. Yeah, an absolutely mad score today at the Fulham game." Gary says, "I'm not celebrating New Year. Can't see next year being better than this." I hear that, Gary, but we go into it. If not anything, let's celebrate for Villa, and hopefully we continue on and have a great year supporting the club. I understand, times can be tough at times, but optimism in life and with the football club as well, mate. I hope you do have a great 2024. Rachel says, "Hi, Michael." So yeah, going into the game yesterday, having come off the back of a draw against Sheffield United and the defeat to United in midweek, just to get back on track, get back to winning ways. It was a big game against a side who struggled this season in Burnley, a side we knew would come out and actually play against us, unlike the Sheffield United game. They're very tactically aware. Their shape and structure allows them to attack more than you would see a lot of the sides near the bottom of the league. But then it gives the opportunity as well for Villa to get in behind and cause problems as well at the other end. So if there was a team we'd be looking to play, to try and get back on track, it was Burnley. It felt like was the team to go to be facing against, and yeah, inevitably we came out as 3-2 winners. But yeah, getting onto that, first we'll go into the lineup, bro. What are your thoughts and feelings regarding that?
You didn't feel inevitable at one point, bro.
I'm saying that, yeah, but at the beginning, yeah, I thought, if there's one game that we could win and get back on track, it was Burnley. But yeah, what were your thoughts?
Yeah, really happy with the lineup. I thought the lineup was perfect. Dean was injured, so Moreno was always going to start. So I thought, okay, play Lenglet. Obviously, Torres can't play, so Lenglet is the next best option. And then I like the fact that he stuck with Carlos and Konza. I do like that back four, although it wasn't as he wasn't as good as I would have liked performance-wise in the end. But I did like him starting off with that. Was happy to see Martinez was fit to play. There were rumours before saying that he was like touch and go, but clearly he was good. And I just loved the fact that Bailey and Diaby started together. Like that was so crucial to how we played yesterday and us getting the 3 points. So yeah, perfect lineup. What about you?
Yeah. We started with the same front six as we did against Sheffield United. So Emery had full trust in this time we'd be able to, break down a team, even though it took us to the last minute against Sheffield United. He had full trust in that. As Moreno coming in, obviously because of Digne. And he stuck with Carlos and Lenglet, and with Konza operating as right back. Which, with Batty Cash coming as ill in the game, before the game, it was the option that he had to go with. So, yeah, it was. I was happy with the lineup and I just couldn't wait to get going at the game.
It was jokes because some conspiracy theorists were just like, is Cash really ill? Is he leaving in January? There were some links with Chelsea just this last week, which I could not see happening, to be fair. I know Reece James is injured, but I couldn't see him spending. But then again, it's Chelsea. You never know who they're looking at. So,
yeah. The outcome of the game and how the game went and flowed. I think one thing I've seen some fans feel like it was possibly lucky in that sense. I don't think it was lucky in that sense at all. As we'll go into, we had a number of opportunities to win that game. And if I go into a few stats here from the game before we get into it, Villa had 66% ball possession, Burnley 34. Villa had an XG of 3.23, albeit that does include the penalty. Burnley had one at 1.17. Villa had 19 shots, Burnley had 9. Villa had 7 shots on target, Burnley had 5. Villa had 3 big chances, Burnley had 1. Villa missed one of those. So when you look at it at the stats basis, and if you're watching the game as well, we had a number of chances to win that game by more than we did. And the stats actually back that up as well. So going into the first half, what are your thoughts on how we played first 20 minutes before getting the goal and taking the lead? How did you feel the game was going at that point?
Yeah, shooting at the halt again from the off. So I thought, okay, we're definitely going to score. That seems to be the theme at Villa Park. We do score in front of the whole end. I noticed Burnley were trying to block off our left-hand side. Progression into Moreno and Ramsey, which we saw last season, is really beneficial. So Konza was having a lot of time and space on the ball. They were happy for Konza to have the ball, and that did in the end come to their detriment because one of our goals came from Konza being able to find the pass. I thought we were getting the ball quickly into Bailey, who was our biggest threat yesterday. I thought Bailey looked sharp. I thought his dribbling was really good. Just looking at the first half statistics now, we created more than 1 XG, although we gave up some as well. 62% ball possession, 7 shots. Yeah, I think we were on the front foot in the first half. However, defensively, we did look a bit suspect, and Burnley were having quite a bit of joy, I felt. I'd say they were one of the best teams this season to actually attack our high line. They made us look a bit complacent with it.
Especially at home.
Yeah, definitely, especially at home. So mixed half. We played some nice football. We weren't as good as we normally are at home. There's an expectancy at Villa Park now to play to a certain level. And I think yesterday we were just underneath that. So, yeah, I'd say mixed first half. What about you?
Yeah, just going through the chances. I mean, from the first 3 minutes, Diaby had a shot. We had in the first 20 minutes, Watkins had an attempt. Dougie had a shot. Bailey had a chance as well. But then around the 25-minute mark, I think Burnley got confidence in that we hadn't taken the lead early. Even because we switched sides as well. at the start of the game. So we were attacking towards a halt in the first half. And usually when we do attack towards the halt, we usually score quite early in games. That has been a fact. It's usually Bailey as well that scores early. He did score the goal that got us the lead. But yeah, so yeah, having not scored in the first 20, I think Burnley got a bit of confidence through that, and they started to play their own game. And there's a number of attempts they had. I mean, Brownhill had 2 attempts. One was a decent save from Emery as well. O'Shea had an attempt. These all just becoming before Villa took the lead, and the goal came when it was required. It was necessary to just regain momentum from where the game was heading at that point. And what about the work from Ollie Watkins for that goal? It's unreal. The ball's played over the top. He's managed to gather the ball, turn back on himself, and then just starts to drive into the box. And he's played the ball across. I don't think he's really aiming for Diaby or Bailey, to be honest. He's just played it into a dangerous area. And we've seen that finish from Bailey so many times. The first touch is so good because it just gives him that separation from the defender. And he's just hit the ball. And okay, it's taken a deflection, but he's hit it. And it's gone into the roof of the net. Nothing Trafford can do, who I do really rate as a goalkeeper. But there's nothing he could do about that. And, Villa take the lead. Thoughts on the goal?
Yeah, listen, Bailey deserves all kind of luck after being robbed of that Sheffield United goal. So more power to him with that. Thought Watkins did excellent. Good running in behind. I think, was it Carlos that played the pass or Konza? Do you remember?
Yeah.
Who was it?
I think it was it Konza? I think it was Konza. Oh, yeah, I think it was Konza.
He came from the right-hand side anyway, definitely. So it would have been one of them. But takes on 2 players. I thought their defending was poor for it as well. But finds Bailey, finds his man. And yeah, it's a good finish from Bailey, man. And a fully deserved goal for him. He's just on fire at the moment now. It's just ridiculous how good he is. I think it's 6 goals now, 5 assists. It might be even more. Correct me if I'm wrong on that in the league. But yeah, really, really impressive stuff. And a deserved lead.
Yeah, it was a deserved lead. And, as I said, the momentum was changing. And you think once we take the lead, we'll be able to start gaining control in the game. But that wasn't the case. That's not what happened at all. Burnley, if not 2 minutes later, go up the other end and score. And it's poor defending from us. It really is. We've let Andoni get free. We've let the ball come across initially from the cross that's come into the box from the header. And yeah, it was poor defending. And I do think sometimes, not just the absence of Pau Torres in, his ability to play the ball, which we saw demonstrated in the game yesterday. I felt Lenglet albeit he's good on the ball, he's not Pau Torres, and that was shown. But also just in defending and being commanding in the area. Pau Torres seems to organise the defence really well when he's playing, and I think we just missed that from that set piece. And with the set piece, it was a good ball in, but it should have been dealt with better. And they've headed it across, and it's a decent finish from Andoni. He's free, but he's had to just stick it in the net. Thoughts on the goal?
Yeah, it's such a poor goal to concede, I'll be honest. Clearly, Burnley worked the set piece well. They've aimed it at the back post. We haven't won the first header. And Ramsey's lost his man in Amdouni at the back post. It's poor defending from Ramsey. And it's a great finish, to be fair, because it comes to him quite high. So, yeah, annoying goal to concede straight after as well, man. Like, when we score at home, we don't normally concede like that at Villa Park. Like, we're so used to just dominating after. So, yeah, frustrating to concede that kind of goal, man, especially from a set piece. But, yeah, it was well worked from them. Just poor defending from Villa.
Yeah, it was indeed. They didn't say they caught us off guard. And as you say, that doesn't usually happen with Villa. Usually once we take the lead, we start just controlling the game and playing at our pace. And, yeah, for them to get a quick turnaround like that was a bit of a shock. And fair play to Burnley for doing so. Going into the rest of the half, I mean, not much happened chance-wise until the second came. There's a few shots either side. But again, Villa just get back on top. And as we proved throughout the calendar year, we don't let these things faze us when we concede goals. And we've done it again here just before the end of the first half, which was crucial as well, I think, because it would have been a bit more difficult going into the half level at 1-1. Again, Ollie Watkins, it's a great ball over the top again. He's watched his line perfectly. The left back, Charlie Taylor's played him on. And yeah, he's got to the box, done a little Cruyff, and then again just pull it into a dangerous area like the first. Pull it into an area. He knows Diaby and Bailey are lurking inside the box. He's come across, and Diaby gets his goal, which I think he's needed just for his confidence and just for him to get back on the score sheet or do a goal creating action or get an assist. Just for him to score is big for Diaby because he's found himself in and out of the team recently, and Bailey, when the whole team, the all 11's fit, everyone's fit in the squad. Diaby wasn't starting games. Yuri Tillemans was coming in. You'd have Kamara, Dougie, McGinn, and then it was Bailey playing off Watkins. So for him to get in, back into the side again and get that goal is huge for Moussa Diaby. And I thought throughout that game, he had a great game. Thoughts on that goal as well, and just the input Watkins has had, because now he's got 17 GA in the league, 9 goals, 8 assists. Just incredible numbers. He's on to get 33, 34 GA in the season, which is ridiculous.
What I love about the goal most is Konza took it personally. Konza said, okay, you're going to let me have the ball. You're going to play your game to block off the left and just, you don't think I'm good enough to make the pass. It's like, all right then. Carried it forward, plays the pass. I think it's their right back that keeps Watkins onside looking back on the replay. He's deeper than everyone else, otherwise it would have been a decent line. Watkins makes the into-out run and gets his head up and plays the perfect pass, man. Like, he could have ruined that pass. He manages to find a man. This is the intelligence that Watkins is playing with now. And it's an easy finish for Diaby. On Diaby, I've said loads of times, he's best when he has first-time finishes into the box, where he doesn't have to think about it too much. When you play the ball into his feet and he's got to do skill and then get a shot off, maybe he's not as good. But these first-time finishes are just food for him. Like,
you think Newcastle, Burnley,
Luton,
Burnley again, Luton. He smashed that one off the bar against Everton.
Yeah.
When his first time, he's unreal at finishing. When he's just instinctive.
He had the unlucky shot against Sheffield United as well from the Bailey pass.
Yeah,
which was a good save. So yeah, really, really great goal. And yeah, getting back in the lead is just it's important, man. But like I said, because how dare they think Emery ain't that guy? That have they not been watching Emery this season? Like, don't be fooled by Emery. He can pass, he can play, he can carry the ball. So yeah.
And we've been trying that pass throughout that first half, and it was either the pass was hit, whether it was Carlos, Lenglet, Konza playing the ball, it was just going a bit too long. It's going to try. So yeah, the other way around. We were doing well. We were defending well with the offsides. As we do, we play that high line, and I thought, Burnley were getting caught out quite a bit. But as the half went on, they started to get in a bit more over the top. I think Lyle Foster had a good opportunity towards the end in the first half after we again took the lead. Emi Martinez made a good save from that. But yeah, the defensive line was good for a lot of aspects, but it felt like Burnley started to get into it a bit more and was starting to time their runs better as the game went on. Before we go into the second half, there's so many comments here. Thanks all for dropping comments. We'll get into those now. Let me find where we are. Gary said, at least Aaron Ramsey played well for us. Yeah, we'll get into that in the second half and the contribution Aaron Ramsey made.
Make notes on what you're supposed to do when you come back to Villa Park, Archer.
Rachel says, do we have to be careful with the high line offside trap and find ways to adapt and modify it as teams find ways to exploit it, but Emery will keep working on it? What are your thoughts on that, bro? Because I think I said in the last stream, I feel like this is Emery's identity and it's the way he plays, and we have to get better at the system. I don't think he's going to adapt it too much. He'll adapt it for certain games and certain teams, but in terms of the principle of playing that line, I don't think he'll change how we play. I think that was a bit more last season where we used to drop into the 6 and drop into the low block because Emery hadn't had time to get it into the players, in the details into the players. But now I feel like this is just Villa's identity, and look how well we've done playing this way. So I don't feel. What are your thoughts?
Yeah. So yeah, you keep freezing on it. So I didn't know when you were finished, but yeah, I 100% agree with you. I think the high line is how we play. It's the principle of Emery's football. He's never going to change from that. I think what people are trying to say, we've adapted more. It's more of a point of making sure our players are 100% concentrated throughout the game. Because I do feel like the past 2 games we've become more complacent. We're not winning the first balls, as we'll go on to discuss for Lyle Foster's goal later on in the game. And I don't think it was as cohesive as normal, because there were times Burnley were just getting in behind, man. They were faking the run and then sending another runner. But that's more to do probably with different personnel in defence. It seems like we have a different back four every week. So these are just like little things that will get gradually improved on. And it might even take new signings as well coming in. That can help us improve that as well. So yeah, I understand the concerns of the high line definitely, but I think overall, from a macro point, like it's good, it's okay, and it's a good way to play.
Yeah, Gary says Lenglet's slow, but you keep him around for cups. Yeah, I agree. Lenglet will be good. He's shown how good he is within the Conference League. Definitely keep him around. I've seen that Villa are determined to keep him now. Emery's come out and said he wants Lenglet to stay. So the rumours regarding Milan and Bayern, I don't think that's going to be the case at all. He's going to stay put this January window. Mark says, question to you all. In light of how hard December was with bookings and players looking tired, what team would you put out in the cup? Interesting question. A very good one. For me, I think you have to go relatively strong, but then also look to use players that haven't played minutes. So Boubacar Kamara comes back in for me. I think if Tielemans and players who have been missing are possibly available, then they can come into the side as well. I think Zaniolo and Duran will get minutes in that as well. Also, possibly could see a Tim Iribunan coming in, maybe a Callum Chambers. So I think it's a bit of both. You have some players who need minutes, as well as some players, who are first teamers but are just coming back from injuries or suspensions. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I agree. I'd still go relatively strong. I mean, Villa haven't made it out the third round of the FA Cup now for 8 years. Like that, we can't just let that just continue. That's just so poor for a club our size. So yeah, respect the cup. I'd like to see Martinez finally start in a cup game. He's still yet to start in the cup game. So if Olsen's still out, I'd like to see Martinez start that. I'd go relatively strong, bro. Genuinely, I just win that game. Middlesbrough are a good team, man. I'd try and win the game. But like you said, if Tielemans is fit, Kamara comes back in for minutes. Maybe even Lenglet, I guess, will start, and then Powell will probably play the Everton game. But yeah, I'd like to see a relatively strong team.
Yeah, I think the FA Cup last year, well, the end of this year, the start of this year, sorry, is that the worst game under Emery?
Nah. Brentford away is the worst game under Emery for me, by far.
Brentford away? No, I mean in terms of result.
Oh, not performance.
No,
when you say worst, yeah. In terms of result, it's the worst, yeah.
Yeah,
but performance-wise,
I
don't think it was the worst. No,
I think that's a massive dot and something you'll want to correct.
Well, actually, no. You could argue the Newcastle results worse.
The 5-1.
Yeah,
no, I think Stevenage at Villa Park is.
That's the result.
Rachel says, is McGinn and Konza available for Everton? I think so. I don't think they picked up
they're both
bookings to be suspended. No, so yeah, I think they are, Rachel. Gary says Cash will be a reserve, but he's done a job for us. Yeah, I think Cash and the right back situation. I think a lot of Villa fans now feel that we need a right back in January if that's possible. Cash has been a great servant, but you always want to improve your starting 11. And if we do want to see Konza go back into centre back alongside Pau Torres, then I think a right back will be the big one. When last season, when Ashley Young was starting games ahead of Cash at right back. Now, Ashley Young, 37, very experienced, and he did very well in the role. But that was a big sign for me that potentially they were looking for a right back. It didn't happen in the summer, but yeah, I think going into January, there's definitely a case for a right back coming in. Marcus says, I'm not sure Ray was disappointed with the silly yellows we picked up yesterday. Yeah, we did. There was some needless bookings that went on yesterday. I mean, Emery got one as well for time wasting, and you want to try and avoid those. Rich said, "Yes, guys, thanks for joining us, Rich." Gary says Bailey has carried us this month and deserves a new contract. That's a big one, very big point, Gary. He has definitely carried us, and he's been, one of our best players this season. That's for sure. The contract situation, I think he's got 18 months left now. So, in the next 6 months, he goes into the last year of his deal. I'm sure now with the form Bailey showing, Villa are going to try and offer him something. And I hope he signs it. What about you, bro? How do you feel with that?
Yeah, I'd still wait till the end of the season. I don't think offering him now and end of the season is going to have that much of a difference. Let him get a full season under his belt, injury free. Let's see the output, and then get him signed off if it's still as consistent for me.
Yeah, the one thing I do worry with stuff like that is like, when players want to feel like the club values them in terms of offering them deals, and if you leave it that long, sometimes some players, they see it as well. They haven't offered me a new deal here. I mean, in the last year, maybe I start looking elsewhere. But I just hope he's really happy, and
it's May, isn't it? So what would that be?
Yeah,
5 months probably.
Yeah.
May when the season ends. So let's see.
I wouldn't be surprised if there are, murmurs of Bailey getting a new contract. Michael says, Rich in the house, just for joining. Rachel, if McGinn and Konza can't play Everton, then I would be playing them against Borough if they're available. I'd rest as many as possible still. So Rachel wants, players to be rested for the Borough game and not go as strong as we possibly could. Richard says, Watkins assist king, huge. And now he's top of the Premier League for the most assists in the season so far with 8 assists. Just incredible player. We're so lucky to have a player like Watkins. Rachel, goals and assists.
Not better than Danny Ings, apparently.
Oh yeah, the Danny Ings.
I still won't let
it go, bro. Let it go. Rachel says goals and assists are spread throughout and attacking players. It's brilliant to see. In fact, the numbers are spread out between all our attacking players. Everyone's getting numbers. Douglas Luiz, McGinn as well. It's just ridiculous how many goals and assists are spread around. We've scored 43 goals in the league now.
Yeah,
it's a mad number. I think only City have scored more. Villa sides over the past 3-4 years have not scored that many goals. So this is just a total role reversal, and it's incredible. Gary says, surely anyone but City to win the league. I know Arteta is a baby when he loses it, but can't have City win it again. What about Villa to win it, Gary? You know what I mean? Paul says Watkins 14, Bailey 9, and Luiz 7 all season with goals. Yeah, really good numbers, strong numbers. Rich, so excited to see Bailey mesmerising runs. Socks low is key. Rich, you're the first one I saw say low socks Bailey, man, and since he's put them socks low, he's been on fire. Gary says, is that Arteta crying in the background? I don't even want to talk about Arsenal, man, because Arsenal fans are just, they got their comeuppance, man. But let's not concentrate on them. This is Villa. Let's let them do what they do, because they seem to concentrate on us a lot. Rich says, see, Arteta crying, expecting to blame the rain. Yeah, just full of excuses. Dylan, thanks for joining us. New around here, really appreciate it. He goes, United fan here, hope Villa win the league. Cheers for that, Dylan. Rich says, Ollie Watkins 11, most assists in Europe's top 5 leagues. It's just ridiculous how good he is.
Who's better than him in the world at striker, really, outside of Haaland?
Well, I've seen the I don't know if it was up to a scorer post the most goal involvements this calendar year. I think Kane's way out ahead, and then it's Mbappe, Salah, Haaland.
Dan Kane. My bad.
And then Haaland, and then and then in the next part, it's like Lissandro Martinez and Toro Martinez and Ollie Watkins. So is he a top 10 striker in the world?
Top 10? He's top 5.
He's up there,
top
isn't
he?
He's up there,
bro. The numbers are there. The output's there, man.
Output-wise, he's for sure, because the numbers don't lie. I don't watch all leagues and all the top 5 leagues all the time, so I can't say I watch Ollie Watkins all the time, full 90s, so I can't say that. But numbers wise, yeah, of course he is. Deontay says, "Hey everyone, hope you're all well. Just saw the Premier League table and Villa are second. Unreal, and Villa are joint top going into the new year. It's mad." Gary says, "Think top 5 picks itself now. Hopefully, yeah, it's started to look that way. Again, you had a poor result yesterday, so it looks like they're dropping again." It says, "Hope we get some decent players in, but it's hard to do in January window. But I've read we have funds available to buy." Yeah, it's a difficult time. We'll see what Villa do. I know Emery and Monchi will be working closely, and they'll already have targets. It's just whether we can attain them. Paul said Lenglet should be a bench player. He's too slow. Yeah, I think that's his role in the squad. It's just that Pau Torres hasn't been available to start games, so Lenglet's just had to step in. Rich, big miss Kamara has been. I've been surprised how much we need him in the double pivot with Luis. Yeah, the last 3 games have shown how much we miss, and Boubacar Kamara is needed, and he makes Douglas Luiz so much better when he's in the side as well, and also
Yeah,
allows McGinn to go.
I haven't been surprised about Kamara, man. Like him being missing fundamentally changes how we build up. Like he goes into the right centre back, he breaks play, he covers so much distance in this system that sometimes it can look like it's his fault, say for teams on transition, but because of the amount of space he has to cover in Emery's system, oftentimes he has to deal with 1 or 2 players. Like he's doing a monster job, and he's so crucial to our system. So thankfully he's back now. No more hands to the face, please. I hope lessons have been learned, and then we can just enjoy him now for the rest of the season.
Facts. What's your thoughts on this? Comment from Gary. Duran loan and Abraham typing. Watkins can't keep fit forever. What's your thoughts on Duran, and would you keep him around, or do you think we loan him out and possibly get another striker in just as a support for Watkins?
Yeah, I think we spoke about it before. If you do sign a new striker, you're basically admitting that Duran's pathway in the squad in conference is over. Like there's no way he plays any minutes at all. So then what you have to ask yourself is, if we're going to loan Duran to a club, maybe in the Bundesliga, in Serie A, for 1 to 2 years, that plays similar to us and allow him to develop, I'd be all for that. Similar to what Arsenal did with Saliba, 2 years out, get that experience, because he is raw. And there's still a lot of coaching mentality-wise that he needs to do. But he was crucial yesterday, man, getting us the winning goal, which was
That's
great.
One thing I'll say.
But only if the loan is a serious loan. Like I think 2-year loans should be so much more common in England than they are. Like there's so much more common abroad, where you just send a player out, let him develop at that club, and ensure he gets game time, and he'll come back a different player. To use the example again, like Saliba did. So yeah, man, if we're doing that type of deal, then yeah, I'd be happy doing that. And then bringing like a backup striker on a short-term deal. But if not, if we're keeping Duran around and signing the striker, then no, thank you. I'd rather just develop Duran.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. And if you were to get someone in January, I don't think for the caliber of play striker you want, I don't think that's attainable. Or if it is, it's extremely expensive. So you go in for someone who can, kind of do a job, who has experience possibly,
and
to
that's
just
happy
step
to play
in
behind
if
Watkins.
that happens. Exactly, that's the huge thing, because we've seen this all before with Danny Ings and Ollie Watkins, and we saw how that inevitably ended up. He ended up with Watkins not being as good as he has been, and we know he can be, and Danny Ings coming in and out as well, albeit getting goals here and there, but never sustaining the full starting role in the team. And they've really struggled when they played together. So we don't want another scenario like that. So it's a tough one. It is a tough one. Like what quality of striker do you go for, considering the time period? It's a January window. It's not summer, and what experience level? Because we've already got a striker who's inexperienced, but who's also a Colombian international in the squad. So it's a tough one. It is a tough one, Gary. That's for sure. Rachel says Kamara coming back will be a big boost. Yeah, totally agree with that. Rich, we need to get better at breaking down low blocks, because the Premier League has worked out how to cause us problems on the counter-attack in transition. Yeah,
to be fair,
comes with practice, I think. Go on, bro.
To be fair, yes, I agree with the point against other teams. But yesterday, Burnley impressed me so much, because they did not really play in a low block like that. It felt like watching us. It felt like watching us, and then a lesser version of us, like player quality-wise. But in terms of the system, They used their goalkeeper in the build-up to become part of the centre backs. They were looking for those long cold ball passes over the top, like we were. They played high from the off. Like they weren't sitting back; they were playing high. Like the whole game was pretty much compressed into the middle third of the pitch. So
Yeah, and
man, company looked
we
like Emery light yesterday.
for sure, and we failed to play through our box system through the middle. I think it was up to the 40th minute we finally played through their midfield, like through the centre of their midfield with a nice move. I think it was between McGinn and Ramsey. So they were really tight and compact in that middle of the park where we looked to play through the lines and try and get it to the forwards. So I think company did a really good job yesterday, and I don't want to put us down. I think it's more that Burnley played really, really well in parts. So
they were decent. They were
Gary says,
decent.
yeah.
And
Tyres has suddenly become our biggest miss.
Yeah, facts. Sorry, that narrow progression was so key to like how we played last season as well. Like that was Emery principle. That 4-2-2-2. There was little quick passes in the box midfield, and it was just mad how like we noticed that only happened once in the first half yesterday. Like it stood out how rare it was, and it was a lovely bit of football as well. But company clearly just wanted to block off that whole middle. Like we'll let you have your centre backs playing on the outside. That's fine, and we'll deal with it that way. So yeah, Burnley really impressed me, man. Trafford really impressed me, and Lyle Foster really impressed me.
Yeah, we'll get onto Lyle Foster because I thought he was very good yesterday. Right, says it's the triggers for pressing or dropping, etc. I mean, in terms of working on it, teams will do different things, so we have to be aware of it. Yeah, that's facts.
Yeah, facts.
Sure. Paul says full strength team in the cup. Paul wants to go full strength. Gary, still no transfer rumours. Come on, Monchi. Oh, that will be all behind the scenes, man. Some of them transfer rumours are ridiculous.
Come on, man.
Rich says Tyler's back. He's good thing. Kamara fresh after his suspension. Hopefully Bundia will be back in March. But if Bundia's back in March, that's amazing recovery time. And yeah, there are some games you watch and you just think Emmy just in those little pockets. Especially with teams, and we're saying that teams are going to set up as a low block, especially at Villa Park, and get us to break them down. That's when you could really do with an Emery Bundia being back and available and fit, because he's the one. He's the one who finds those passes through the lines.
And I just pray that he's the same player. I mean, ACL injuries are not kind to footballers, and it can take a lot off your game. You can have less pace. You can ruin a lot of things. So I'm just praying he's the same player. On return. Do you reckon we'll see him this season, or do you reckon it'll just be a next season thing?
It depends. I don't know. It's difficult with ACLs. I mean, by the looks of things, it seems as if Emmy's. I don't know if you can say it wasn't worse, because it's both horrendous injuries. But it seems like Emmy's progressing a bit more quicker than Tyrone. So I feel like Tyrone wouldn't be until next season, whereas Emmy, I feel there's a chance that he will be back this season. So yeah, we just have to wait and see when he's actually back on the grass and starts running again. But hopefully, if he is towards the end of the season, what a player and what a weapon to bring back into the squad. Rich said, "Yeah, would love to see us go far in the FA Cup." Yeah, I mean, I always remember the two FA Cup finals I've seen. Losing to Chelsea and then losing to Arsenal as well. It'd be nice to win that trophy, man. Gary, how many undroppables do we have now, and where can we improve? That's a great question. For me, I feel fully fit squad. The undroppables are Emi Martinez, Pau Torres, Ezri Konsa, Dougie, Kamara, McGinn, and Watkins. And Leon Bailey's currently not far off either. What about you?
Yeah, I probably agree with that. I don't know. I still nah, it don't matter.
No, go on.
I don't know. I'm not. I know he's our captain, and I know he's proper important in it, but I'm not ready to say undroppable. I would like to see some games where if it was how we deal without him, and see how that would. Because he plays every game, we don't know what life is without him. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
But we were getting results last season when McGinn wasn't playing under Emery as well, so I don't think he's undroppable. But yeah, he's very, very important.
Right, so says, I'm not sure we have a strong enough squad to cope with FA Cup conference and the Prem. Yeah, it's a tough one because you want to compete on all fronts and you want to try and win it all. That's sport at the end of the day. You want to try and win as many things as you can.
Man.
Everyone. Yeah, go on, bro.
Carry on, bro. Sorry.
No, I'm just saying Emery will know this. He'll know the depths of the squad and what what it's possible, what he thinks is possible to achieve with the squad and the squad depth that we have. Um, so I think they're fully aware, and I think they'll want to compete on all fronts. I know. You have Emi Martinez coming up and says he wants to win it all, man. That guy's a straight up
He's
winner, and I
he's
feel like a lot of players will be in the same mindset as Emi. Whether we can do that, it's a totally it's a totally different story. But I'm sure Monchi and Emery will discuss this, and we'll be looking at options, to fill in the squad. But I think the big thing when you're trying to improve a squad is you always have to, the majority of the time, go for players into the team that you want, you envision starting in the first 11, because that's how you improve your squad then, because you have players competing for places, and inevitably you want to push players out of the squad and bring new players into the first team who are better. So, which is so difficult in January. It's so difficult.
It's personality as well. You have to measure the personality, how they're acclimatized to the dressing room, whether they're right fit. Like, these are all the intangibles that go into it. Like, it's not even just player quality. It's about how they'll adapt to the team, will they ruin the dressing room environment. So yeah, these are all important as well. But I kind of disagree. I think we can compete with FA Cup Conference and Prem. Conference isn't till March. Still, you'd have 2 FA Cup rounds before then, maybe even 3. I think we can add in January as well to deal with the lack of squad depth that we'd have. And it's just that 8 years things of going out in the third round, man. Like, if it's 9 years or whatever, that's just embarrassing for a club like Villa. Like, I think we need to get over that third round exit.
Yeah,
like
we have to get first. That is a big one.
Bro, you can't get knocked out of the third round every single year for nearly a decade and be a big club. Like, come on, you got to put an end to that and try and win a competition that we haven't won in ages. So yeah, I'd play a pretty full strength team, to be honest. Me personally.
Yeah. Anthony says, get in a backup striker, backup keeper, right back, and defender. Lenglet hasn't impressed. Rich says Watkins, Debu, Louise, McGinn, Bailey, Konza, and Droppable. Yeah, similar to same as I said. Gary, Everton at home in the cup was poor. Yeah, Powell. Yeah, Powell's in there as well. Everton at home in the cup was poor. Yeah, that was a poor game. That was a really poor game. We did change it up a bit for that game, and it showed. Paul said there's talk of us buying 2 strikers. Drop the names in the comments, Paul, if you know who they are. Yeah, we'll have a look at that. Gary, Torres and Diaby will be undroppable soon enough. Yeah, I can see that happening. Rich, cover for Kamara is a must. Just look how much we have missed him. That is,
Facts.
I agree, and that's such a difficult cover to get because he's such a quality player. But yeah, I agree. Paul, I would give Bailey a 6-year contract. That's a big statements, Paul. Rich, yeah, then pair 2, Gary. Rich also says, yes, sign him up, only going to get better and better. That's, I think, in regards to Bailey. Harry Kane's successor, Ollie Watkins, well, he's putting his feet on the table. He's making himself known to be that over the last 4 seasons, and especially this season. Rich, they're worse than Newcastle fans, if you can believe it. I think Arsenal are the worst on socials anyway. Arsenal are the worst fans for me anyway. Gary, we and Arsenal can't really afford to lose any more games, which will be tough to win league realistically. Yeah, I still have the mindset that top 4 is the goal and the aim, and I'd be disappointed if we didn't make the league. I'm just enjoying the ride still, and for as long as we're still in talk of titles, contention, title race, I'm buzzing with that. Rich said I'd be happy with a top 5-6 finish, but wishing for more in 2024. The Villa. Paul says, when's Watkins' next hat trick coming? I'm going to say Everton, because I don't think he'll start Middlesbrough. Gary, love watching up the Villa when ATV when they lose. I say EFTV. Yeah, it's comedy gold that channel is. Rachel also said I was listening to an Arsenal Space earlier, and it's not a happy count at the moment. Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, so let's move on to the second half then, bro. And yeah, when we got into that second half, the thing I always say is I think the first 10 to 15 of the second half are so pivotal in the game and how the game's going to go, because fans are getting back to the seats. The atmosphere is not quite like it was at the start of the first half. You have to be switched on, and Burnley going to come at us because they did get some elements of joy in that first half, so they would have been confident that they could get more elements of joy within that. And it started off, it ebbed and flowed again at the start of the second half until that big decision happened and Sander Berge ended up getting his second yellow card, and I think rightfully so. Some may say it's harsh and soft with the shirt pull, but from where we saw it in the angle at the time, it looked like a straight booking. And to be honest, we weren't aware that he'd been booked in earlier in the game. So I was screaming for booking. I know you were as well. And for him to get a second yellow, I think it was the right decision. What do you think?
To be honest, I've seen Burnley fans say, like, what is he doing? I don't really think I've seen that much pushback to the red card. I think most fans would just agree, like, yeah, this is stupid. Like, you're stopping a goal scoring opportunity potentially. So you didn't even have to make it that really like that. But yeah, it's what it is, man. It's a red. It is what it is.
Yeah. It was a similar situation to Semenyo against Bournemouth, where he should have got a yellow card and a red card, but never did.
Yeah, that was all.
But the referee picked it up yesterday, and yeah, it's a second yellow, man. Yeah, deserved to go. And yeah, that changed the momentum shift of the game then, and then it was all about, can we get another one? 2-1 up now. Let's get some control of the game. That's how it felt at the time, and we had some big chances to go further ahead. McGinn has a great shot. Trafford does really well to get down low and make a good save from it. Jacob Ramsey misses a huge chance, a chance that a fully fit the last season, Jacob Ramsey slotted many times, finished it. And it's just the one thing that I would have wanted from that game is for Jacob Ramsey to get on the score sheet, because he has been struggling to get back to the form he's demonstrated towards the end of last season, and even against Brighton when he came on, he looked like he'd never left. But since returning again from the recurrence of the injury, hasn't quite been to the standards we know Jacob Ramsey can operate at. And yeah, it's a great cutback. Leon Bailey's done. Is it Leon Bailey that's put the cutback in? I think so. And yeah, Ramsey's just come across the near post, and he should score really from that. Again, more chances. Moussa Diaby's missed two big chances as well to again further the lead. One of them especially going over the bar, and you're just thinking, come on, we just need one more, because this absolutely kills the game off. But no, on the break, and this guy, I mean, this is a player I wouldn't mind at Villa. He missed a month and a half through. I think he openly stated that he was having mental difficulties, and he just wanted a bit of, he wanted some time off and from football just to concentrate on himself, and that's massive for a player to come out and say something like that. And I commend him. That's a big thing to do. But even before then, he scored a goal against us at Turf Moor. When I watched him at the start of the season, I thought he was a really good player. And yesterday, he terrorised us. And I think for him personally, it was a goal he deserved, because he was a real handful. Even when Powell came on, he was still a real handful for our centre backs. And he's timed his run to perfection. And the finish, I mean, it's at Emery's near post, but he's absolutely smashed it. And it's a really good finish. And
yeah,
the way the goal went in, it felt like it was miles off, didn't it? The whole movement. And we'd been warned in the first half, because by a toe, Lenglet just plays him off it's very, very close. And so we were warned. And yeah, he got in again and he finished it again. Really good performance.
Noel Foster's a top player, man. Like, even when he scored against us in the reverse fixture, like, there's a bit of Ivan Toney about him. He's still only 23. And I think he's got like 7 goals and assists total this season, and he's hardly played at all in a Burnley side. It's impressive, man. If any Burnley fans are listening, I don't want to offend, but I can't see him being at Burnley for too long. I think some people might be paying attention. I'm sure they'll command a hefty fee if that was to happen. But I think the goal is so poor from Villa. This is what I was speaking about, more about our complacency. It's just a long ball upfield. They were playing the long ball as well, because they know we play the high line. Powell and Louise are slow to react to the first ball like Luis doesn't even like engage in the duel. Powell's just come on as well. He's a bit rusty. Then Foster manages to get ahead and go through. Moreno has to do better. Like, it looked like Moreno was quite slow going back. He has to do better. He has to try and show him onto the other side instead of letting him get ahead like that. And I know you said about Martinez near, bro, I think it's poor, man. I think he should save it. So when does Martinez get beat at his near post like that? He's already like halfway to that side before Leo Foster even gets a chance to shoot. I think that's why the goal took people aback as well. Took people back a bit as well, because it's just like, how's Emery been beaten there? Like, surely something's wrong there. Like, something didn't feel right about the goal when it went in. It almost felt like that shouldn't have gone in. You know what I mean? It's a great touch.
Yeah.
But I was surprised to see Emery get beaten at his near post.
I think the pace at which he hit the ball surprised me. He absolutely whacked it. Like, I think it just the whole thing just caught everyone off guard, even the players. It was strange. It felt like a decision had been made or the whistle had been blown. It was blown.
I think it's so. I thought he was looking back at it because I wanted to. In the stadium, it's really hard to like analyze because you're so involved in the match. But looking back, there's about 4 times where the goal probably could have been stopped. Like, I wouldn't put blame on any individual player. Like, it's a team collective complacency for the goal, and it's just it's poor. But fair play to Lau Foster.
Yeah, facts. And at that point, 70, just gone past the 70th, you're like, oh no. You know, the stadium, the atmosphere just kind of went downbeat, didn't it? It was like, has this actually happened scenario? It was one of those. It was just like, can we just go on and do it again? You remember the game against Palace where it didn't look like we were going to get a victory. That was more because we came from behind, and it was like, can we do a certain scenario to that? And we were pushing and plugging away, albeit still trying to stop Brentford from threatening. Burnley from threatening, because even though they had 10 men, there was still a huge threat, and they got the goal with 10 men, and there was still being a threat in behind. Lyle Foster was occupying so much of our back four. It was really good strikers play, and we start getting a bit more impetus again. Watkins had an attempt which went over the bar. We were just really struggling to create anything in those stages after they equalised, but we get that. We get that decision. Some may say fortune. I don't believe so. I think it was a penalty. Leon Bailey, again, does excellent work down that right-hand side. Cuts inside, beats his man, beats Charlie Taylor, cuts inside, and plays the ball across. And of all the people to give away the penalty, Aaron Ramsey kicks the foot of John Duran. He has a baggy touch in the box. The ball gets away from him. John Duran, on his toes, alert, runs towards the ball, and he kicks the bottom of his foot. Now, the level of contact, for me, it's a penalty. I think it's a penalty. Some may say it's extremely soft. Some may say it's not a penalty at all. What were your thoughts on it? Do you think it was a pen? And obviously, with the ref giving it, return it. So the ref giving it back, but for me, I thought anyway.
Aaron Ramsey, Aaron Ramsey, you absolute legend, man. Like, big up yourself. Thank you so much, because that is such a pivotal part of our season to win that game. Like, I was so nervous. When it was 2-2, I was thinking, no way, we're not going to win back-to-back home games against bottom and 19th. Like, are we really doing this going out into the new year? But it's wonderful play from Bailey. I think he has a 2v1, and he shows in crazy skill, amazing intelligence to get to the byline, cuts it back. And then, great awareness from Duran to attack the ball and get in front of Ramsey. And I think it's a penalty. If the referee gives it on the pitch as well, there's got to be clear evidence to show it's a mistake. And it's not a mistake, it's clumsy. Duran gets in front. So I think it was a penalty.
Yeah, I think it was as well. I think it's the correct decision. And then penalty at a la Crystal Palace. Dougie is stepping up. I've seen videos of McGinn trying to protect the penalty area, which is quite jokes. Kicked off a bit. Rumours that Jacob Ramsey got a booking before that because he was protecting his brother from another Burnley player. I'm not sure if that was actually the case. That would be quite jokes, and fair play to Jacob for standing up from his bro.
I think it was the case. Yeah, I've seen pictures of Ramsey like pointing in one of their players' face, like, "Don't chat to my little brother like that."
That's what a big bro should do. That's what a big show should do, no matter what side you're playing for. Yeah, Douglas Luiz, the most relaxed guy in the stadium. I can tell he's a real fisher because that guy, he's cool, calm. He took about a minute to take the pen. Everyone's nerves in the stadium were going. I'm sure everyone's nerves at home watching were going as well because he was taking an absolute age. I think must have been over 10 seconds like, since the ref blew the whistle.
Take your time. Don't worry about our raised blood pressure. You just take your time and that. Like, bro, what was he doing? At one point, I thought he hadn't heard the referee's whistle. It's like, what's going on?
He was so zoned. He was so. It's mad. He was just breathing. He was staring Trafford out, trying to psych him, trying to get into his head. Yeah, Dougie was just, he was horizontal, man. He was so relaxed. And the pen
just about, but we take those.
Yeah, just goes over, hits the bar, comes down. I think it was over the line before he hit the bar again and then went into the net. But yeah, that man Dougie again, penalty taker. Watkins had missed a few previously. We kind of wondered, when Watkins stepped down, who would be taking him. Well, it's Douglas Luiz, and he's bagged everyone. So
we've got our guards, man.
Stone cold. Yeah, he is because Anwar was a stone cold penalty taker, and so is Dougie, man. He doesn't let anything affect him, and he plays the game at his pace. And yeah, exactly. Great penalty from Douglas Luiz, and we go 3-2 up. 89th minute. Not much time for Burnley to get back into it, even though there was 9 added minutes, which was fair enough because there was a number of decisions that went to VAR, and you know how long VAR takes. It's a madness. So yeah, 9 minutes I think was fair, and we managed to see it out. Yeah, a massive result, which took us level on points with Liverpool, who play tomorrow against Newcastle. Huge victory, and at times I think we were the better side. I think we were the much better side. It's obvious from the stats and from watching the game. But at times, you sometimes struggle, especially when you're a top team. You struggle against certain sides. We've seen Arsenal go to the Cottage and lose today. We saw Liverpool score 2 last-minute goals to beat Fulham again at Anfield only a few weeks ago when they were 3-2 down. So sometimes you just have to grind out these results and get the points no matter what. And I'll take huge confidence and belief from yesterday at 2-2, getting the third and winning the game. And as I said, the form over the last 2 wasn't great, but our form's been ridiculous for so long now. It was a minor blip, and it was nice to just get back to winning ways. Thoughts overall, bro? And yeah, how happy were you with the 3 points?
Yeah, I'll say some quick takeaways. Ramsey still needs time to get into rhythm. Him missing the chance doesn't bother me. Scoring's random. As long as you keep getting into those positions to score, the goals are going to come. I actually get encouraged seeing him miss those type of chances. I just like the fact that the movement's good and he's still sharp. So yeah, long may that continue, him getting into them spaces. But yeah, he needs time. To get his rhythm back. We've seen how crucial yesterday, I think, Kamara and Pau Torres are. Lenglet is quite slow, and I just don't think he's comfortable defending. I think there's a reason why he wasn't playing a single Premier League minute for most of the season, like even for like 2-3 minutes. Like you can see the drop off in quality. Carlos had a bit of a poor game, didn't he? He was a bit suspect. The handball that we haven't spoken about as well was a bit mad. I think we got lucky there. I think we got away with that. Personally, I think we got away with that. But yeah, big game for Carlos needed coming up. But yeah, overall, happy to win, bro. Happy to get the 3 points. Have you gone off? Oh, it looks like my boy's gone off. I'll carry on with the chats. One sec. I'm bringing back the look, my boo. I'm here for all the niceness. Rich says Happy New Year. Gary says Gerard wanting more money for players. Learn to work with the players you have, like Emery has. You useless tussle. Yeah, exactly. Gerard made loads of excuses with our players, trying to say that we need more quality, more moments of magic. But no, it was his lack of coaching that was the problem for me. And as we see in Saudi Arabia, like he's struggling as well. So it's not just an Aston Villa thing. Like he's been struggling in Saudi Arabia as well. So that just shows the level of coach he was. Standing on the words as Luis took his time, it should have never been rushed. We deserved the win and we should have won it by more. Second goal, because of goal difference, guys, you're being spoiled now. We have very high expectations. Yeah, that's a fair point, I think. That's facts.
Am I back?
My brother's back now. I was carrying on the story.
I think there was Gerard chat in the comments. So yeah, my line just cut off.
Yeah, don't worry, I've covered it.
Seeing that name.
I've been through it.
Yeah, nice one, bro. Nice one. Yeah, it's Gerard. You see the word Gerard and just cut me off. Yeah. Yeah, carry on, bro.
Gary says, I can see Birmingham City going for Gerard. If Rooney goes, that'll be funny. Could you imagine? Please make that happen. Please make that happen.
I've been gone for what? A few 30 seconds. It's Gerard and Rooney chat. Love it. I love Villa fans, man. Yeah, do you want to carry on, bro?
I think that was most of the comments. No, but I was just saying about Carlos. Just yesterday, he had enough games. Since I've bigged him up, he's had 2 pretty poor games, which is annoying. But hopefully he'll be back to where he is. I wouldn't be dropping him. I still think he's crucial. I still like the Kanza right centre back role at the moment. Although that might change with Kamara back now. We'll see how Emery adapts that.
Yeah, facts. And I think I said before I dropped out. Did you think the Carlos handball was anything more than it was? As in, were they lucky to not get a free kick, or even worse?
I think it's a red card. I think it's the most obvious red card. He's literally seen the ball and tapped it away whilst running back, denying a goal scoring opportunity. Like, it's a red card. I can take off my bias. It is what it is. We got away with it, man. I'm grateful.
Yeah, I thought it was a red, and I think it's one of those where it's difficult for. I don't know if VAR can pick that up in because the referee hasn't given a decision, and it's not violent conduct. I think that's the rules regarding that, but it didn't deny a goal scoring opportunity because somehow Lar Foster still managed to get round Carlos and have a shot, but I don't know. It felt a bit deliberate. I can't lie. But then looking on the video, there are aspects where Carlos isn't looking and he hasn't even actually looked at the ball of his arm and his arm comes across. So I don't know. It's a tough one. But if that was against Villa, I'd be very disappointed if the opposition player wasn't shown a red. Yeah, I've seen some names thrown in here for transfers regarding Werner and Somerville and plus Rowe from Norwich. How would you feel about those names, bro?
Werner, I'd have to think about more. I like Jonathan Rowe. I think he's a great player. You could ask if we do sign Rowe for, like, say 20 million, you could wonder why we then sold Philogene, who's like a similar player, probably arguably the better player, but I wouldn't be against Rowe at all now.
Yeah, I think they're not bad names at all. I think they're decent names. Some funny comment. About time we got some real luck, hey? Yeah, standing on the word. Thanks for joining us as well. Standing. Yeah, I agree. That was a bit of luck we needed. Rich goes liability. Carlos elbowed the guy the other week. How he never got sent off, I never know. Like, he gets away with something. Need Carlos, man. He really does indeed. T1 says, I'm sorry, I love Carlos, but he's unliable in the back. Stray passes and deflected goals are his thing. I'm sorry. I need Cons and Torres as my CBs. Yeah, I hear that. Gary says, who's got the most money to spend in January realistically? I'm not sure. Seems like Chelsea always have though and never get affected by FFP, so I wouldn't be surprised if Chelsea just splash out loads of money again. I've seen rumours of selling Conor Gallagher, which I find a bit mad. But yeah, probably Chelsea. That's mine. So what about you, bro?
Yeah, probably Chelsea.
Rich says Munchie's little black book will be open for business up the Villa. Yeah, let's see what Munchie can do. Let's see what he can do. Rachel says, I think it was a makeshift back line. Physical and mental fatigue was hitting hard over the December fixtures. Some rest and reset will help for a second half of the season. That's big facts. I think over 30 days we played 11 games. Something ridiculous like that. So it's a huge amount of games. Some in Europe, in the league, against the top sides as well in the league. And we've done incredible in that period of time. Only losing one game, which was a game we were 2-0 up in. So, yeah, it's been incredible. And to get through the Christmas period and still be joint top is an amazing achievement. Gary says Spurs, probably Spurs. I think we'll have some money as well to spend. They've been linked to quite a few players. Paul, guys, should we sign a good CDM? Yeah, I think, especially if Dendoncker leaves. There's been a lot of rumours around Dendoncker leaving the club at some point, whether it's January or the summer. And if it is January, then definitely. But then again, there's Tim's still in the squad, but there's always rumours that Tim's going to be let go as well because he aids with FFP, and we'll insert a buyback clause. And I think that's going to happen with a lot of the young talent who they don't quite see cut out to make the first team, not the squad, but being the first 11. So I wouldn't be surprised if Dendoncker or Irubunan leave in January and we do get a DM in. What do you think, bro?
Yeah, I'd like to get a defensive midfielder in. Probably move on Dendoncker and see what kind of gem that we can bring in. Someone that's tall, athletic, can play on the ball, has pace, athleticism, like I said before. That could be a real market opportunity to get in like a younger, talented gem. Someone like Pape Matar that we were linked with before, that's like excelling at Spurs. Just someone good like that.
Yeah, facts. Standing, guys, do you think Conte should appeal his yellow card? I didn't see him deserving one. Yeah, I didn't either, but I don't know if you can appeal it. I think Rachel said here later on. I don't think you can appeal yellow cards. Yeah, I'm not too sure if you can. If you can, then possibly. But yeah, loads of comments coming in here. Just going through. Pete says we better buy Bidace back. I swear down. He's been flying this year in the champ. Won't mind it. Seems mad we sold him for 5 million, but it is what it is. Taiwan says, I'm loving the feedback you guys been getting now from us or my other Villa fans. You guys know your stuff, especially my friend Aston. Facts. Some other comments regarding some other stuff in there. Have I missed anything? Michael says, I have to say Carlos has the same body type as me. Fair enough, Michael. Paul says, who's suspended for Everton game? I don't think anyone is suspended. I think we have everyone who is available. It's just who's back from injury. Yeah, that's it. Anyway, bro, anything else you want to add?
Nah, that's pretty much it. We've covered most of the good stuff, man. Just grateful, bro. 3 points, second in the league. I can go, and the fact that it was such a long break after. If we didn't get the 3 points, we would have just had to sit on that for a good 2 weeks. Like, just nah. It's good, man. You can go into Everton off a win, and we can look forward to it.
Facts, and that's the that was the big thing from yesterday. Just get the 3 points, and we did it. And we go into the new year joint top, which is just absolutely insane. If you told me that the start of last year, 2023, that would be joint top at the end of the year, I'd have said you're mad. But we are, and it's been an incredible year as an Aston Villa fan, and long may it continue. I think that's going to be it, guys, for us. Again, for this year, everyone who's joined, thanks so much for joining us. It's been amazing. We've been growing the channel. Your comments, the people I'm seeing in the comments have been in a number of videos, providing their, comments, their input, their support as well. Is so appreciated. We've had a really good year on the channel. We're just going to try and keep growing. So happy New Year to all of you. Hope 2024 is a great year for you all. Hope you have an amazing year, and yeah, celebrate well tonight if you are going to, and enjoy yourself, but just stay safe. Thanks again, bro, for joining me. Happy New Year to you too. I won't be seeing you,
Yeah.
but yeah, have a great one tonight, and yeah, up the
Yeah,
Villa.
bro,
And
thank you for these podcasts, man. Up the Villa. I hope everyone in the chat has a great new year, a great 2024. And yeah, let's hope the Villa's form continues.
one last comment. Gary says, no title talk, please. Not until game 37. We'll leave that, Gary. At the end of the year, we'll leave that, and we'll say, yeah, no title talk till game 37. Thanks all for joining Up the Villa. Have a great night, and yeah, Happy New Year.